Would you cry or run away?
What would you do if you found them? Full of them? Would you eat and enjoy them?
Well, the honorable judges and audiences, my name is Pelaihari.
My name is Putra.
And my name is Caca.
Today, we will tell you a story of two brave children, Hansel and Gretel. Here is the story.
Once upon a time, there lived a poor woodcutter who had two children, a boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. Sadly, their mother had passed away when they were very, very young, and they were very sad without her. But one day, the woodcutter decided to remarry. However, his new wife was not kind to Hansel and Gretel. She was always mean to them and treated them poorly. One day, when the woodcutter was out cutting wood, the stepmother called Hansel and Gretel. Hansel, Gretel,
Yes, Mom.
there is not enough food to make soup for dinner. Stepmother, we will all go hungry tonight. We will go into the forest tomorrow and pick some mushrooms. I know where the best mushrooms go.
Audiences, when the woodcutter came home, his wife told her plan. Of course, the woodcutter protested, but his wife told him that all four of them will starve to death. The children, Hansel, heard the whole conversation and Gretel began to cry. Hansel assured that he would make a plan to save them. He went outside and gathered breadcrumbs to mark the path. The next morning, the family settled to the forest, and Hansel used breadcrumbs to mark the path. When they arrived in the forest, the woodcutter built a fire and told the children to sit by while he and his wife went off to pick some mushrooms. The children fell asleep by the fire, and when they wake up, do you know what happened next? They found their parent had gone! Their parent left them far in the forest.
Hansel, where's Mom and Dad? Why did you leave us here? What should we do? How can we go home?
Don't cry, girl. It's okay. I'll mark the path. Breadcrumbs. Let's go to find our way home together. Unfortunately, when they're trying to find a way, the birds have eaten all the breadcrumbs. So the children began to walk aimlessly in an attempt to find their way home.
Ladies and gentlemen, eventually, when they were nearly starved to death, they met a house made of bread, sugar, and chocolate. Look, Hansel, the house is made of chocolate bricks! Gretel exclaimed happily, and they both ate eagerly. While they were eating, an old lady opened the door. She had a very long pointed nose and wore a pointed hat. Do you think the woman was really nice to them? Of course not! The woman was a witch! The next morning, her intentions became clear, and she locked Hansel in the shed. Every day, she checked Hansel's finger to see if it was fat enough. So, she told
touch his finger to see if it was thick enough to fry. But smart Hansel thought of a plan. Each day, Hansel stick one out of the shed, tricking the witch into thinking he was still quite thin. So, the witch blamed herself for why Hansel wasn't gaining weight and prepared a new meal every day.
But one day, Hansel couldn't give her a stick, so she grabbed Hansel's fingers. Ah! Now you're fat enough. Today, I can grill you and eat a very nice way. She was going to roast Hansel. But do you know what happened next? Hey, you! Take up your weapon! When the witch stooped down to check the oven's temperature, quickly Gretel pushed her and locked the oven door.
Yes! You're so smart, Will! It's a Hansel with great joy! Gretel and rescue Hansel, and they filled their pockets with witch juice.
Pas berapa lagiannya?
And finally, they managed to find their way home. When they got home, their stepmother had died. Is it bad news or good news? Huge news. Their father raised his children in heaven. Thanks, smart kids. I'm really happy that you finally came back home safely. He said, the family was never poor or hungry again.